Hi everyone! Welcome back to our channel. I am Lila.
And I am Alex. It's great to see you all again.
Today we have something very exciting for you. We are going to learn how to give opinions in English.
Oh yes, this is very important because we give opinions every day about many things.
Exactly. For example, Alex, what do you think about my new shirt today?
I think it looks really nice. The color suits you very well.
See? That is an opinion. Alex just told us his thoughts in English. It is simple, right?
But wait, there's more. There are many ways to say what you think. Today, we will learn all of them.
Yes, whether you are talking with friends, at work, or even having a discussion, you need to know how to give your opinion clearly.
Before we start, if you are new here, please press the subscribe button. And if you like this lesson, give us a thumbs up. It really helps us make more videos for you.
All right, Alex, are you ready to start?
Yes, let's start with the basics.
When we want to give an opinion in English, we can use some common phrases. The most basic one is I think.
Yes, I think is probably the phrase you will use the most. For example, I think English is fun to learn. Or, I think coffee is better than tea.
Good. Now, another common phrase is I believe. It is similar to I think, but it sounds a little more formal.
Right. For example, I believe learning English opens many opportunities. Or, I believe practice is very important to be successful.
Another way to give your opinion is in my opinion or in my view.
These phrases are good when you want to show that this is your personal opinion, not a fact.
For example, in my opinion, the best way to learn English is by watching movies.
Or, in my view, speaking practice is more important than grammar books.
See how natural that sounds?
Yes. Another way is I feel that or I feel like.
This one is more casual and emotional. For example, I feel that everyone should travel at least once.
Or I feel like pizza is the best food.
Alex and his pizza again.
Now let's quickly review these phrases. We have I think, I believe, in my opinion, in my view, and I feel that.
These are your basic phrases. Use them every day, and soon they will feel natural.
But Lila, what if we want to sound very confident or a little less confident?
Good question, Alex. Sometimes we feel very strong about something, and we want people to know.
Yes. For example, I am absolutely certain that practice makes perfect.
That is strong. It shows that you are very confident.
Other strong phrases are I'm convinced that or I'm sure that.
For example, I'm convinced that learning a new language changes your life. Or, I'm sure that hard work always pays off.
We can also use words like definitely or clearly.
For example, English is definitely worth learning, or technology clearly makes life easier.
But Leela, we're not always 100% sure, right?
True, sometimes we are not certain. Then we can use softer phrases. For example, I guess or I suppose.
Like, I guess waking up early is healthy, but it is very hard.
Or, I suppose studying grammar is important, even if it is boring.
Another way is it seems to me that, or it appears that.
Right. It seems to me that more people are learning English every year.
It appears that online learning is becoming more popular.
We can also use words like probably, maybe, or perhaps.
For example, English is probably one of the most useful languages. Or maybe practicing speaking is more important than I thought.
Strong opinions use words like absolutely, definitely, convinced, certain.
Soft opinions use words like probably, maybe, perhaps, I guess, or I suppose.
This is very useful because in real conversations, we need both strong and soft opinions.
Absolutely. See, I just used a strong word.
Perfect example. Now, let's talk about agreeing and disagreeing. This is very important.
Yes, when someone shares an opinion and you agree, there are many ways to show it.
The simplest way is I agree.
But we can make it stronger. I completely agree, or I totally agree.
For example, if I say, I think learning English is important, you can say, I completely agree with you.
Or you are absolutely right. That is exactly what I think.
Another phrase is, I couldn't agree more.
That means you agree very strongly, more than anything else.
Great! Now we can see how to give opinions in English clearly.
Yes, remember the phrases we learned today. Strong, soft, and basic.
Exactly. Here's a real example. Alex, I think practice is more important than just studying from books.
I couldn't agree more, Lila. You have to actually use the language to improve.
See? That is a natural and strong way to agree.
There is also a more casual way to agree.
Like what?
You can say exactly, or absolutely, or even just right.
Yes, these are perfect for conversations with friends.
For example, if I say that movie was amazing, you can say exactly, I loved it too.
Or even more casual, you can say, yeah, for sure, or totally.
Like this, dude, that pizza was incredible.
Totally, man. Maybe that is very casual, but you get the idea.
The key is to match your language to the situation. Formal situations need I completely agree, while casual chats with friends can just be totally.
Perfect. But Leela, what happens when we don't agree?
Ah, now it gets interesting. Disagreeing in English can be tricky because we don't want to sound rude.
Exactly. In English-speaking cultures, we usually disagree politely, especially with people we don't know well.
The most important rule is never just say, you're wrong, or that's not true.
Right. That sounds very harsh and unfriendly.
Instead, we use polite phrases. The most common is, I see what you mean, but.
This is brilliant because you first acknowledge their opinion and then you share yours.
For example, if I say, I think grammar is the most important part of learning English, you can say, I see what you mean, but I think speaking practice is more important.
Perfect. You didn't attack my opinion, you just shared a different view.
Another good phrase is, I understand your point, however.
Or, that's a good point, but have you considered? These phrases show respect while disagreeing.
Another one is, I'm not sure I agree with that.
Oh, yes, this is gentle. You are not saying they're wrong, you're just saying you have a different opinion.
We can also say, actually, I think, or to be honest, I feel differently.
Let's practice together. I think studying late at night is the best time to learn.
I understand your point. However, I think morning study is better because your brain is fresh.
See? That was not aggressive at all. You disagreed but stayed friendly.
Exactly. Another polite phrase is I'm afraid I disagree.
Or, I beg to differ, which is formal and sounds very sophisticated.
I beg to differ, dear Lila. Very fancy. Maybe we save that for formal debates.
Here's an important tip. You can soften your disagreement with kind of or sort of.
Like, I kind of disagree, or I sort of think differently.
These phrases make your disagreement sound softer and more gentle.
One more strategy I love is asking a question instead of disagreeing directly.
Oh, yes. Instead of saying, that's wrong, you can ask, are you sure about that? Or, do you really think so?
Or you can say, have you thought about this perspective? Or what if we looked at it differently?
This is smart because it starts a conversation instead of an argument.
Yes, polite disagreement can help people understand each other better.
And it also makes English conversations sound natural and friendly.
Remember, practice both agreeing and disagreeing. Use strong words, soft words, and questions.
Exactly. Remember, everyone, disagreeing doesn't mean fighting. It means sharing different opinions politely and respectfully.
Perfect summary, Leela. Now, let's talk about asking for opinions. Sometimes we don't want to give our opinion first, we want to know what others think.
Yes, this is very important. Asking shows you care about other people's thoughts.
The simplest way is, what do you think?
Or, what's your opinion? Very straightforward.
We can make it more specific. For example, what do you think about this restaurant?
Or, what's your opinion on online learning?
You can also say, how do you feel about? For example, how do you feel about working from home?
That is good. There's also, what are your thoughts on? Like, what are your thoughts on social media?
And if you want someone's view on something specific, you can ask, do you think, for example, do you think English is difficult to learn? Or do you think practice is more important than theory?
Here's a more casual way. Any thoughts on this?
Or even simpler, just thoughts?
Yeah, with friends, you can be very casual. For example, thoughts on the new Marvel movie? Perfect. And one more I like. I'd love to hear your perspective on this.